Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Everything Actually with me, your host, Ashley Fisher. So, today's episode that I've tried recording and gave up on about 3 times. Well, I've tried giving up 3 times. I've tried recording it about 12. 12. So now we're just gonna do what I want to do. Yeah. So, with that said, I do have a little format on my laptop in front of me. I'm going to try and follow it, but I'm also going to just branch out because that's how I naturally talk, and that's what's going to work for me. So, thanks for bearing with me. So, this translates perfectly into two of my topics, but we'll start with the first one. When I'm emotionally detached from the outcome or just emotionally detached from the situation itself, knowing that it has nothing to do with me personally and my character, I'm so much happier. I almost want to skip forward through all of that and just say, apply that to your life. What I mean by this is, at work, I already know this podcast is going to jump around so much, but maybe I'll just try and keep it to a time limit instead. At work, I'm in a human resource aspect. So, at my job, people will come to me if there's a billing issue. I mentioned this in one of my last recordings that I did. I was like, I don't want to share where I work. Most of the people who listen know me personally, so they know where I work anyways. But I just feel like it's not safe to share those things. I don't know. Sorry if I'm being weird. So anyways, where I work, people will come to, this can happen anywhere, honestly. People come to me with an issue with the product, so to speak. I didn't build the system. So when they're complaining to me about the system and yelling at me, sometimes I do still get emotionally invested because it's my job and I want to make them happy. And if somebody's yelling at me, I more so do than don't get upset at the situation. But sometimes when somebody's just going off on me, I literally just smile and nod and I'm just I literally can't do anything. I'm sorry, but this is not my fault. 9 out of 10 times, they ask for the manager. I get the manager. The manager tells them exactly what I said, but maybe a little nicer and most likely with more confidence. And then it's solved one way or another, and I go about my day. They go about their day. So really, I'm just my life is so much more peaceful and I'm so much happier when I'm emotionally detached from conflicting situations of conflict, you know? Not that I don't think I would apply, I don't know, I'm trying to think of if I would apply it to my personal life because it's yes and no. So imagine me and my roommate, who we never argue, knock on wood, but if me and my roommate got into an argument, and I'm so emotionally detached from what she's saying that I'm just okay, okay, got it, I won't do it next time. Good? I feel like could solve the situation, maybe more peacefully, maturely, and maybe it is good because then I'm still at peace with myself. However, I'm one of those people who believes, to have a love-hate relationship, almost, not with everybody, but I'm saying, I don't know, maybe I need to do some reflecting. Just because my sister, the amount of love that I have for her is I would take however many bullets that's I can still survive. Not to be I would die for her. Because, sorry, girl, I don't know if I would die for anybody, but I would take plenty of bullets. I would take a lot of pain for you, girl. But also, me and her have gotten into such heated arguments that it's I've never said nastier shit to anybody in my entire life than what I've said to my sister. So it's like when me and her get into an argument, if I was so emotionally detached from it, I think oh, we're going to get into a song quote. But I think that if I was just so emotionally detached for it, or let's say she was, I think that kind of means our relationship's over. You know, like if you get to the point with somebody that you're like, I don't care, that's not good. That means the relationship's over. And there's a song, I don't know what song it was. It's such a bop though. It's like the opposite of love is indifference. What? Let me ask chat. Chat. Okay, so I found the song after ChatGPT did not help me, but Spotify came through. So it's in Stubborn Love by the Lumineers. Such a good song. And he sings in it where he's just like, the opposite of love's indifferent. It's such like a folk song. It's so good. So anyways, back to where we were. Yeah. So I think that when it's somebody at work, somebody that isn't like your partner, your family, your lifelong best friend, it's better to stay detached from the situation because then you can both leave happy. If it's somebody that is that deep to you, you know what I mean? I think that that's not the best advice. I would say get emotionally invested, have a, calm head so you're not whatever. But yeah, so that was that point. The other one, my advice, is it's not what you say, but how you say it. One of the first times recording this, I could not figure out an example that wasn't related to my job. So, but now I did. Literally how I started this episode, because I was like, I don't want to start it being like, I don't even want to record right now. I tried and it's not working. Like, so this is the episode that you're going to get because this is the best I got right now. Instead, I was like, oh my god, guys, so we're gonna do it a little different because what I was doing wasn't working. So let's try something new. The first example, somebody I feel like would click in and be like, I don't want to listen because she doesn't even want to talk to me. And then the second version is like, okay, a different way of saying it. Not to defeat my point, like it is more, like when I was recording the first times, I had that mindset of like, when I was getting defeated, just being like, I don't even want to do this, so I'm just gonna do something, but then I hated the some things that I was doing, so I was like, you know what? We're gonna emotionally detach, we're gonna chat, we're gonna have a fun time on a Monday at 5:22, yeah, so those were the two topics that I just breezed past. Love it. I'm thinking of maybe doing one or two more. I do want to keep this episode short because I don't know. I just got so much energy. So I'm like, I want to see how it's retaining. With that said, so how I was saying that what works is when I detach from situations. And this is what I believe it was in this recording that I said it, where I was like, there's something that affects me in like I don't want to say day-to-day life, because this does not happen every single day, but it happens often enough that I would say like I need a life change, kind of. Hear me out. So I'm debating if I want to give this example. Because I want to give the general, in my head, a general phrase always makes sense, an overarching idea, but I never know if it translates correctly. So I'm just saying, somebody will be explaining something to me, right? Step A, step B, step C. Okay, let's start with step A. Got it, I understand. Let's go to step B. You lost me there. No, it's just this, like, I still don't get it, but it's step B, like, it's, okay, I get it a little, kind of, it's fine, move on. C. okay, this is C. You lost me. I have no idea. I don't know what page we're on. I understood A. I have no idea how you got from A to C. And then I shut down. My brain, it feels like it literally, at first, I literally think this is fight or flight in action in my head. When I don't understand something, when I cannot, and I know it's a mindset, don't ever say you can't because then you believe that. But I've had this more specifically with math. It's comical to me. I've reached a point like algebra 1, I was like, okay, got this. Went to geometry, I was like, what are we doing? What happened to 3x equals 9? Proofs? Don't get me started. But anyways, yeah, math, certain concepts would never click to me, and I would get so frustrated. I felt like partially with myself because I do have very high expectations for myself, and I feel like I try really hard, and some things I'm like, it just feels like I cannot understand it. And then I start crying and then I get emotional and then my brain starts running. So now, instead of putting all of my brain power on the one thing that I'm trying to understand that got me upset in the first place, now I'm thinking about that I'm crying. Now I'm thinking about how I cry when this happens usually. Like it just starts spiraling and it is awful. And often it's in public settings. Like, because I almost feel like if I'm alone, there's less pressure to figure it out. I think that could be part of it. But with my fight or flight response, what I was saying, it literally goes, someone's explaining something to me. I'm so lost. I try and understand it. I get it a little bit. We move on. But I guess even if we don't move on and I'm still stuck on that one thing and I'm just like, I don't get it. And I get so upset at it. And it's like, I want to say why. I literally think it's just because I have high expectations for myself and that I beat myself up when I can't understand something, especially if I think it's simple. And I'm also, I don't want to say overly emotional because I'm something that I'm working on. I do think that I'm a super emotional person, but I'm also 22 years old. Like, I have, like, I feel like I have reasons to be emotional. The one reason literally being my age. That's so silly of me. But I just don't think it's a bad thing because although I get super upset at certain things, I also am, like, on cloud nine with, like, when I make pork chops with pierogies and applesauce, I'm like, life could not be better right now. I'm like, so as equally low as I get as high emotionally. So I, kind of riding them out. I want to say life's a wave. That could be so much deeper. It just sounds silly for me to throw it in like that. But I saw something that it's like you're not supposed to fight the current. You're not supposed to go against life. You're just kind of supposed to go with it. If you have the lows, go through the lows. When you're on a super high, like, ride it, I hope that clicked with somebody and didn't just sound like one of those cheesy quotes that you look up on Google, you know what I mean? So, yeah, to wrap up that, I feel like that was an emotional topic. That was super, not to be like vulnerable of me, but yeah, just something that I've always dealt with. When I can't understand something, I emotionally break, and then it just makes everything harder because it's like, eventually I just need to give up. And, see, I'm getting upset sharing this. And so then I just have to give up. And then later when I'm reflecting on it, I'm like, why did I get so upset? Like, it wasn't that big of a deal. So then after time has passed from the situation, I just kind of feel like guilty about the whole thing. And then it kind of repeats. So, we started super duper light. I can't wait to watch this back and see the vibe. But, yeah, I just don't know what to do. Like, And I get more upset when somebody realizes that I'm getting upset and they're like, oh, like, it's okay. Like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Why are you feeling upset? And then I'm just like, I just want to shut down, not talk about it, and evacuate the situation. A solution for that? Because I also do want to know if other people go through this or if I'm just too hard on myself. If I just like expect for me to always get things first try. I think I can unpack why I feel this way. I'm not sure what the solutions would be. As I said, when I detach myself from it, then I'm like, oh, okay, this is fine. But like, yeah, I'm just as simple as if I'm trying to do a math problem and I cannot figure it out, it's either like you figure it out and that's good, or you can't. You just can't figure it out at that time. And I don't know. I literally don't think I have advice for that one, guys. That's probably one of the things that I've dealt with for a while. I'm scared that I've like tangented about that. I fear I may have gone on a tangent. But that's okay. We can wrap it up and we're only at 17 minutes. This one hopped around a lot. The transitions are like, I want to say barely there, but I know they are because I was like low-key an English major. So I kind of ate with the transitions. I already know. So with all of that said, actually the one part I don't think I included, I think I skipped right on over this. I wanted feedback on my podcast. Specific questions are what format it should be in. I briefly used the format for like 2 or 3 episodes of Ash, where it's advice, silly, and how do you feel. Those are like the 3 topics. And then I want to make a community. I want somewhere, because I keep telling you guys to comment, DM me, text me if you have my number, and give me some feedback. And I know it's kind of more difficult when you're just like, oh, so what do you think? So my specific question is, what format works? I've done the Ash format. I'm going to have my sister on the podcast. Today's Monday. She's literally coming Friday. Hey, she's 2 years younger than me. So she's 20 years old. She goes to college in Boston. I'm going to do one thing where me and her both say certain words and you hear the different accents, me being in Florida for 5 years and then her being in Boston for like 3-ish years now, but also New Jersey. So like, well, whatever. Yeah, we'll get into that at a different time. So yeah, if you want the Ash format, a guest, and or like this episode where I'm more just energetic, like just kind of talking and connecting it, how my brain connects it and just naturally rolls into different topics. That is what I like originally was doing with this, but then I just felt like I was yapping for way too long because there was no like format essentially. But now I'm making a format and it's just like not working when I just don't consistently want to do it. I think I translate better when I'm organic, which I think will be so easy to do with a guest because then I could just bounce off of like them. Whoa. I can just do that instead of lost my train of thought there. Jeez. Instead of pretty much having not a script but a more strict structure. Yeah, that. So anyways, yeah guys, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I'm actually super excited to watch this back. I believe this is episode 16. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to upload this, I guess, on Monday. I think I'm getting good at 2 episodes a week. Maybe. Not getting good with the days. No, I am not. But that's okay. There's room. That means that there's room for progress. Room for growth. Love that. All right, sexies. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And thank you for everything, actually. Bye.